Maybe we should stop eating.
Why?
Because we're recording.
Oh, no.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
Picture it, pink pants and a floral shirt.
Shall we begin?
Whatever.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. It's your boy Ramont.
And I am Reese.
And welcome to another episode of ALilRandR.
Welcome back.
And if you're just tuning in,
this is a little R&R.
Oh, now I see how it's supposed to work. Okay, I don't like it because I don't know where it's supposed to fit.
So we're not going to do it.
Yeah, we're definitely not going to do that. Okay.
But if you're just tuning in, thanks.
Last time.
Appreciate you. Last time
on a little R&R. And let's play like little clips.
Right.
We're not doing that because I do the editing. Reese doesn't. So, no. I made an executive decision right there.
Well, okay.
We're not doing that.
That's fine.
Everybody gonna be in the comments saying he's such a bitch.
He's such an asshole, and he is today. Today has been the day. We have been through. So we got up and we connected. We went to Starbucks and got our drinks, and they put whole milk in my shit. And I don't like whole milk, but I didn't want to give Kayla a hard time. Shout out to Kayla at Starbucks in Clinton. Oh shit! I don't want to tell people where I live. Well, I don't live in Clinton. Can we start over?
No, we're not. We're keeping it now. No one. Okay, whatever. Moving on. We're in a secure location in the DMV.
Start over.
Why?
We're in a secluded.
It's secluded?
Yes.
I thought it was secure.
I mean, we're secure. The door's locked.
Oh my god, we're never going to get to the topic.
This is horrible.
This is not horrible. This is us.
It is.
I don't like to think that I'm horrible.
Well, we're not horrible, but this is like...
It feel like our first time. I'm keeping this. Fuck it. Fuck it.
Yeah, so we started off with whole milk in my drink, and that fucked me up. And then...
I told... Whatever,
Ramont likes
no.
to talk over me. We've noticed that in the last episode. His phone has his attention right now, so that's why I'm able to speak freely. He has been a whole asshole all morning today. And we're recording in the morning today. Yes, breathe. Get it out. We do typically record in the morning, but we're in the early morning. So maybe he woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Maybe he's just not a morning person. I don't know.
Guys, we're going to let Reese have his moment.
I'm done.
Let's start off with the fact that I told you to let the young lady know, like, she made your order wrong and asked.
Her name is Kayla.
Now y'all friends.
We ain't friends. She played me.
So, like, I told you to do it. You're like, oh, no, I didn't want to do it. Okay, now you don't want to do it. Whatever. And don't do his phone has his attention now. Because we're not going to talk about when your phone has your attention and everything else that I'm doing. Oh, okay. Anywho, moving on a brighter note, I'm glad you guys are listening to us. We're sorry. You know, Reese always want to argue in front of guests. So ghetto.
That's not true.
So ghetto.
That's what he said. So when he gets in my car and says, not good morning, not hello, not hey, how you doing? He said, oh, ghetto. Wait.
Imagine your Oreo friend pull around in their luxury vehicle, and he looks like a soccer mom pulling up. Let me tell you. And you get in a car, and as soon as you open the doors, WAP is just blasting out of the speakers. What are you supposed to think? And like, you're
not
this
ghetto.
Okay. It is what it is.
You know? We're here, though. We're here.
We are here. And we saw you guys had to hear that. But, you know, we feel like at this point, y'all close friends.
We know
borderline family members, cousins. What's up?
Yeah. Daddies, all of that.
Are we on episode 10?
It is number 10.
Yeah, we made it.
Look, I was thinking about that the other day. And we kind of had this talk, but we didn't. I was thinking about a season, right?
Okay.
Like, what is a season? So with... like TV shows, it's like 10, if I'm not mistaken, it's 10 to 12 episodes makes a season.
Sometimes if you're watching Housewives, they go on and on.
I feel like it's only like 10 or 12 episodes. No. Maybe not. So then I was like just talking to different people and they were like, it can be whatever you want. And I was like, what is our season going to be? Because we've only been doing this for a few months. And I was like,
And it's because we release our episodes every 2 weeks.
Every Monday, y'all.
It doesn't seem as other people who do it every week.
Right.
So their season, they can have an endpoint for their season, but we're every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So ours is a little bit longer than what everyone else's would be. So much. But episode 10 is an accomplishment for me by itself. I'm here for it. We're in the double digits now.
I told a friend of mine, I was like, we're episodes. He was like 10 because we were like,
it seemed like a lot.
Yeah, he was like, I remember one, and I was like, yo.
Oh, 10 episodes in with 2 bonus episodes.
We haven't had a bonus in a while.
We haven't done a bonus in a while.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah. They'll come down.
And then we've had 10 episodes, 2 bonus, 2 episodes with special guests. Mm-hmm. So I feel like we're doing
the damn thing. What's up? We're in double digits now.
And all we need y'all to do is what is it? Subscribe
and rate it
and
leave comments.
Send us emails and all of that. But we'll get to that at the end. We'll give y'all all that information again. But here we are, number 10.
Yes.
So what are we talking about?
So for number 10, before we even get into our show topic, just pause for the cause real quick. Black people, and the sound of my voice, because I know the majority of our listeners are black. Take 2 deep breaths for me. Again. Because I know we're exhausted. As black people, as the community, we're exhausted. It has been years for us. But at this moment, we are just tired of explaining, tired of seeing the things, the hurt, the loss itself.
Tired of seeing our people basically gunned down and for no reason.
And then have to explain to our European counterparts of why it's unacceptable.
Right.
Why we have been dealing with this and the fact that it's so frustrating that they don't get it.
Yeah.
And a part of me, I don't want you to get it. You know what I mean? It's because I know that's not your story. You don't seen it, and you've been sheltered from that. So in essence, you're not going to get it. And for me to explain, and then you still don't I shouldn't even be I'm tired of being upset that you're not getting it. It's not getting through to them. So it's just okay, if you're not going to get it, you're not going to get it. But just give me the respect of just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Don't say nothing. Just give us the thoughts and prayers that y'all give when y'all decide to shoot up y'all schools. Give me that same energy. I can deal with that more than me exhausting myself trying to explain to you. It's like talking to a brick wall or beating a dead horse when they don't get it.
I don't like the want to get it and still not get it.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Because
I get it. I understand. No, you don't understand. You'll never understand. You'll never get it. So again, like you kind of said, pray and keep me in your thoughts and prayers and things like that. But and if you have more power, do something with that. But
they have the power. Use your white power to make the change that y'all want to make when it comes to us, and y'all don't like what we're doing. When you're coming to neighborhoods and try to gentrify them, and then want to, you shouldn't be doing this, ma'am. I've been living here. You're not going to come in here and then tell me what I need to do. No, you moved here. I didn't move to where you were at. Right. You know what I mean? So it's.
No, I get it. I feel like you said, I feel like it's very much. Don't try to understand it from my perspective. Understand it from your perspective.
Understand it from a human perspective.
Yeah, but I mean, understand it from your perspective and be tired and fed up with the fact that you don't have to deal with this, but people do. And why is that? Why do people of a different color or a different race or whatever, why do they have to deal with shit you don't have to deal with? Understand it from that perspective. You don't have to understand it from being a black person because you'll never be a black person.
Never.
If you're not. You know what I'm saying?
Never.
So, yeah, I completely agree. We are in a time, and I feel like every time I turn around, it's like this person died, this person, and and I'm not excusing some of the actions of individuals, but I don't think it warrants being gunned down. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Right is right, wrong is wrong, but some people. And I'm being very vanilla, if you will. Some people are not being held accountable for their fucking actions, and that bothers me. That bothers me, and it just makes me feel like, I don't want to go too far down this road.
Okay, yeah, that's not
heavy.
R.I.P. to Chadwick Boseman. R.I.P. to Black Panther, T'Challa, all the great movies he did. That was a major loss for us as well this year.
How about, can we just say to be going through that and to still be who he was.
He knew that he had a greater... It's a very selfless thing to know that you got a greater purpose than to put... Like, that is big. Yes. That is very
And I
big.
am just like, wow, I want to be like that. I want to be in a position to... Not to say that I want to go through what he went through or whatever, but I want to make... I guess be a beacon of change in a sense, and be so selfless. Like that is so he was such a selfless person. And I didn't even follow him like that. Like, legit, I'm gonna be real.
Yeah,
like,
but when you found out like what his treatments and therapies
what
that he was going through
but still doing, like, what? And then there for the children, the cancer, like, that is just like, wow.
And Black Panther was one of Marvel's biggest movies.
Yeah, like,
biggest movies. And lastly, I'm gonna end on these announcements. Get out and vote.
Yes.
If you have not registered to vote or requested your mail-in ballot, please look up and find out what the deadline is for your state itself. I've already requested my mail-in ballot. So everyone else, please make sure that you do it. We are in the middle of a pandemic. I know some of you don't want to go out there and stand in the lines like we used to do. So definitely request your mail-in ballots. Definitely get out there and vote. And I know I hear the argument from people of that whole lesser is too evil thing, same thing they did back in 2016. Now is really not the time, because when y'all said, oh, what's the lesser of two evils? Now you see what the evil has done, where we are and what's going on. And you know what pissed me off about the RNC, their convention itself? How they played it that if you elect Biden, this will happen in Biden. He will take this away. We will have this, that, and the third. But where are we at now in your presidency? You know what I mean? Biden's not president.
Right.
You keep giving, if you elect Biden, he's going to, but look what's going on now in your presidency. You haven't done anything good. Like, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We can't do anything. People have lost their job. The economy is shot. Like, people are dying. There are protests. Like, you can't keep saying if you elect Biden. No, he's not president right now.
Right.
But watching it, you get a peek through the lens, like, if I was that suburban white family or Middle Western family, whatever the case may be, are those Bible Belt Christian evangelistic people, I can see how they believe that. And like, look at the images and hear what they're saying, and they like feed into him like, oh my God, we can't elect him because that's going to happen to our world, but forgetting what's actually going on around you right now.
Right.
Right now.
It's
funny as hell. So
chaos.
Guys, please vote. Please request your mail-in ballots. Please look up and see who are on, like, who's going to be on that ticket outside of the presidential race itself. Please look into your local and state. That's where things really matter as far as the changes in which we want to happen. It's those Senate seats, congressmen, your local people, the judges that we appoint, the sheriffs and everything like that in different towns, like the police commissioners. Like, these are people that we elect in that also make these changes and push these rules through. So definitely take a look into that when you guys have time. And requesting a mail-in ballot, I did it online. It was easy.
Mine came in the mail. Like, yeah, I'm
ready. To ask you to fill it out, to send it back. Mine came in the mail too, but you can go online and do it as well. So it was real easy.
I feel like so many times people feel like their voices aren't going to be heard, so they don't. And I feel like I've felt like that before. I'll be honest and say that there was, in past years, I felt like, who am I?
Voting is a group project.
Yeah.
You've done everything that you did, but it's someone else that's going to bring this grade down.
Yeah, so don't be the person that brings the grade down, people. Everybody vote. Like, it's important, and especially now, like this, we don't want another
4 years
of this.
Another 4. And did you hear him say, he was like, I think I deserve another 4 years, and then in 4 years after that, sir.
I can't listen to him. And and let's just, again, keep it 100. I'm not really political, but I know the changes that are needed or that I want to see, to me, that are needed. And it's just like, come on, we got to come together.
We got to do something.
What did they say? It takes a village.
it takes a village to raise a child. Is that what you want to say?
It takes a village to make a chain. Okay. It's too serious in here. Like,
all right, guys.
It takes a village to raise a child and make a change. That is my platform.
That is your... Come on, Reese. Reese for change. Okay.
For change. Because I don't want to be president.
So, Reese, do you want to introduce the topic for today?
Sure. So, what we're talking about today is... I don't even know how to even, like...
Okay. Well, give the scenario.
Okay.
And I'm playing... Well, I'm not saying I'm playing. This is just a conversation itself. And
so can we put a disclaimer? Not even a disclaimer, but a... What do you call it? Like a prelude? It's like a book, right? So I want y'all to know that when we do these episodes, legit, me and Ramont will have a piece of a conversation, and then usually him, but sometimes me, will say, stop, let's save it for the podcast. So when we're having these conversations, we're literally having these conversations, and they're unfolding on the podcast. And I think that is the authentic thing that we have, is that, yeah, we have a topic, and I think that when we have a topic, it's because we both feel a different way. Like,
not necessarily feel a different way, but I like to challenge Reese on the things that he brings up. And when he tells me how he's feeling, of course, there are times where I agree with him. And of course, that's not going to make for a good show.
Right.
But
we'll shut that down. Okay.
Even if I do agree with him, I still give it to him from a different aspect. Like, no, friend, what about X, Y, and Z? So he can see it a different way. And then we both sit back like, oh, okay. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we don't have these conversations. Like, we don't have full on. We'll start a conversation and then it'll roll into this right here. So what had happened was I had taken my car to the dealership for service or whatever. And so I was pulling into the gas station to fill it back up, my little, the rental. I was filling it back up, so I could return it and not be charged that fee. And as I'm pulling up, I see a couple that are having, obviously, a disagreement. And the woman is very much like, again, I couldn't hear them. I just saw them. The dude was trying to get in the driver's seat. And she was basically like, nah, nigga, you ain't finna get in this car. I don't even like the word nigga, but whatever. She was like, you're not finna get in this car. And he was like, no, I want to get in the car. So he was kind of like not he was being aggressive, but not like abusive. So he was kind of like pushing her back, like,
Was she already in the car?
They were both outside of the car.
Okay.
And so he was trying to get in the driver's seat, and she was like in front of him, kind of pushing him back, like, no, you're not getting in the car. To me, she was like, again, my interpretation, she wanted to talk or whatever. And he was just like, no, I'm done. Like, I'm cool. Leave. Right. Mm-hmm. So I pull up to the pump and pause. Like, they both looked at me like, okay, we got an audience now. And so I'm sitting there like, okay, what's going to happen? So he walks around to the passenger side, gets in the passenger seat. And then I didn't realize it at the moment, but he climbed over to the driver's seat. And that's how he got in the driver's seat. So then she gets in the passenger seat. And So
at no point, no one locked the doors.
Right. Well, the passenger side was open from the beginning.
Okay.
So I don't know. Again, I was confused at what happened prior to. But so he got in the driver's seat. She gets in the passenger seat. But she was sitting... So she was sitting in the passenger seat with her back to the windshield. So she was sitting backwards. Makes sense?
Okay.
So she was sitting backwards. And I don't know. I guess they were having words. And then I saw the backing up lights. And I was like, what is going to happen? Because she's still... Like, her feet are still outside the car. The door is not closed. The passenger door is not closed. And he's backing up. So I had to move back so he didn't hit me. And when I moved back, he was like, whoop, whoop, and he pulled out. And so eventually she turned her ass around and shut the door. All I could think in that moment was, oh my gosh, I never want to be her. Meaning, if this man is ready to go about his business and be done with the situation, it might have just been a conversation, whatever. If he's done, let him be done. Move the fuck on. Like, there is no... Like, I felt like she looked so stupid trying to, in my head, potentially make him stay in a situation. Again, this was my interpretation of that situation. So I called Ramont and I was like, yo, I just seen this crazy shit, da 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 da. And it made me realize that, and I've gone to counseling, and the counselor kind of said that I didn't go to counseling for this situation.
They made you go to counseling.
Right, their situation. No, I had gone to counseling because counseling is healthy. We'll talk about that in another episode, but counseling is definitely healthy. And I think it is one of those kind of taboo things for the Black community, but I think it's definitely needed and it's useful for us. So I had gone to counseling, and it kind of brought all of this together, that when a person is done with you and they have really like, I'm done, be done. Like, why are you trying to, like, to me, why are you trying to make this man stay or prevent him from moving on? You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm looking at it big picture. To me, him getting in that car and driving away was him, like, ending whatever it was that they were going through. And her trying to prevent him, to me, was foolish on her part, because he made a decision that he was done, and you're trying to make him sit in this. No, ma'am. You look crazy to me. I just feel like, no. I'm not going to put forth energy and time to try to make a person stay in a situation with me that they have clearly said that they don't want to be in. I took it big. Like, I took it to, like, relationships, friendships. Like, you and I, if you came to me and was like, yo, Reese, you know, I feel like whatever, I don't want to be friends with you no more, I would probably be like, well, what happened? If there was something that happened that I knew, okay, I could take that. But if I didn't know, I'd be like, well, what happened? Mm-mm. But if you don't have an explanation and you have decided that you do not want to be friends with me no more, God bless. I love you. I will never, ever, I'm not going to talk shit about you or nothing like that. It's going to hurt, but I can't see myself trying to convince you to stay in this friendship. That doesn't make sense to me. And the same thing with a relationship. I don't see the point in trying to convince somebody to stay in a situation that they have decided that they are done with. And Ramont said, I got challenges on all that you said. I said, okay.
First of all, it don't sound like that. We're going to start there. First of all, it don't sound like that. Okay, so let's put it in aspect of a relationship, because we're going to break this down and we're going to tear this apart. Breathe hard all you want.
We doing I feel like it's
okay. Relationship, friendship, okay. Business, whatever the case may be. Okay. So, and just listen to what you're saying. Is it out of the blue? Have we had conversations prior to? Like, we've been kicking it, and then I just come to you, Reese, this friendship not going to work for me. And
to me, I feel like it doesn't matter. If you have come to a conclusion about where you stand with me, I feel like it's just, I can't see myself trying to convince you of otherwise. To me, and this is my thought process. If you come to me and say, hey, this friendship is over, you've thought it through, you've processed, and you made this decision.
And that's the problem that I have.
Okay.
You
don't have to point at me. Watch your little eye. What is that? An eye pencil?
It's an Apple Pencil.
Apple Pencil. Watch.
So that's where I have the problem, because if you come to me after you then had your time, days, you then thought about it, wrote about it, prayed about it, and made up in your mind, you owe me a conversation. You owe me, and maybe people are going to disagree with me saying you owe me, but it's a little unfair. Life isn't fair. Disingenuous. The fact that if we've been good, everything is fine, and you decide to come to me and drop this bombshell on me, and I'm just supposed to be done just like you are. No, I didn't have that time that you had. I didn't take those moments. I don't know where this went wrong for you to now be at this level, and I feel like we should have a conversation about it. And it's not always so much me trying to convince you so much of why you should stay, but it's more so understanding of what happened. Where did we go wrong? Was it something that, that was said, that was done? That's what I have an issue with. Like, you just can't come to me and say, oh, we're done.
I agree.
Wait, man. What do you mean?
I agree. I agree with you on that. I agree that there should be a conversation. However, I also feel like, and let's take a real life moment. And you and I have a friend we had a friend in common, right? A situation happened where said friend was like, to me, my interpretation of the situation was, I don't fuck with you no more. And I knew what the situation was, but that individual had gotten the premise of what that situation was from someone else, right? So to me, I never had an opportunity to say, this is my side of it. But after so many situations where we crossed paths, and it was cool, it was cordial, and then it became just very like, I don't rock with you. And so to me, I accepted that. You don't fuck with me because of this situation. Like, and again, I respect it. I respect that you don't fuck with me. So now I reached out, and the last thing that I said, kind of like what you said, I feel like we should have a conversation. So when you're ready, please let me know, because I'm willing to have that conversation with you, because I want to speak my piece. Because whatever you heard from another person, and that was their truth. But hear me out. And when I said that, okay, this is what it is. Like, I feel like we should have a conversation, and that conversation never transpired. Cool. I'm not mad, but I respect your decision. You have made a decision to kind of not fuck with me. And I can't, I just...
Well, and that's a little bit different, because it's only different because you extended that olive branch of conversation. Let's sit down and talk on different occasions. You did that. It wasn't just, Reese, I don't fuck with you no more, and then you said, okay, good, I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't that quick and easy like that. But you wanted to know, you wanted to have a chance to, like you said, express your piece, your side of your side of things. So that's the only thing. But you have to also consider, in certain friendships or relationships, there's always one person that's willing to fight more than the other person anyway. But
I challenge that with, in my head, if a decision is made, to me, almost like trying to sway that is like me pleading. I don't feel like if our relationship situation, whatever the situation was, whatever the relationship was, if it's not of value to you to allow me to speak my piece, allow me to have a piece of this conversation, then
it was never meant.
Yeah, like I'm not finna fight with you. Like, I'm not. Now, if you come to me and say, yo, Reese, like, I feel like this situation happened and it made me feel this way, and I really feel like I don't want to fuck with you, but I don't know. And I can be like, well, yo, Ramont, this is what it was. This is how I felt. This is where I was coming from. That, to me, is a different space. Like, you're putting it in a space where, let's have a conversation and come to an understanding, maybe. And let me decide let me hear you out and then make a decision on how I want to roll with you from here on out. But if you come to me and be like, yo, I don't fuck with you no more, and I'm going to be like, and this is exactly, like, we're friends. Like, I feel like we're ride or die to the end type friends. But if you came to me in a month and was like, look, I don't fuck with you no more, I would be like, well, what happened? Because if I was unclear with what happened and you said I don't, if your response was I just don't, to me, you have made that decision, you've thought it through, and that is the decision that you made. So all I'm going to say is, okay, I'm going to respect that. No love lost. I'm confused, but no love lost. You have decided that you don't want to rock with me. I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise. I'm not. Because I feel like you've made that decision. And to me, trying to convince you otherwise is too much. It's too much in relationship.
And even I don't look at it as pleading, because I just feel as if it's a fucking cop-out. Like, if you come to me after years of friendship, years in a relationship, and like, I'm done, and I ask you why, it's like, you know, I'm just done. No, that's a fucking cop-out. That's something that you don't want to own up to, something that you can't verbalize. And I feel like if you came to this decision, you should be able to tell me why you reached this decision.
I agree, but to me, if you've made the decision, trying to understand is null and void. Because to me now, if you say, well, this is why and blah, 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 and I'm like, okay, well, cool, but that's not what it was, and now you flip the script, and now you want to be cool again, I'm like, well, fuck, next time you feel some type of way, you don't want to be friends with me, like, do I want to be friends with you? So it creates this toxic shit between us now. You know what I'm saying? To me. Like, I'll give you another example. Relationship. Take it to a relationship level. When Obey and when it ended, I was like, look, I have an issue. This is how I'm feeling. And I feel like we need to talk. Like, I feel like we need to come to an understanding. It wasn't like I'm done with you. It's like, I want this to work. So I want to come to an understanding. I feel this way. This mug said, well, I don't feel that way. So
now we get to the root of everything.
More or less, to me, it was more or less like, I don't feel no way. If you feel that way, you need to figure out why you feel that way. So then to me, it was back in my hands to say, okay, well, what do I want to do with this? And for me, it was like, well, if I come to you, this is my man. Like, we've been rocking for a couple years. Like, if I come to you and say, I have a problem, and your response to me is, well, that's your problem, figure it out. How do we move forward from that? So then I made the conscious decision that this is not going to work for me. Because I feel like in a relationship, if I come to you with a problem, and not everything, so please hear me out. If it's something that I felt like it was a big enough issue that we needed to discuss it and figure out a way ahead, and you tell me that no, pretty much you need to figure out what's going on with you and deal with that and figure it out, that is not a relationship. Because to me, if I have a problem that big, we have a problem. Because now it's a breakdown in communication between us. And if you can say, well, that's you, figure it out and come back. No, I'm good. So
now we see the problem.
What do you mean?
Because when you wanted to be a fighter, it was a slap in the face.
No, friend, you're not. No. Now I feel like you're flipping the script. I went into the situation and
with an open heart, open mind. I want to get an understanding of how we are. And this person tells you, well, that's on you. You and your God deal with that.
Right.
I'm good.
Right.
So therefore, if someone comes to you and say, I'm done, you're like, okay, fine. You don't want to fight. You're not going to fight.
The difference is I went into the situation saying, hey, let's have a...
But you don't see how it can affect you on both ends?
I feel like if a person comes to me and says that they're done, to me, you have come to a conclusion within yourself that you are done. Now, if you come to me and say...
Did Obey or not?
I just want to finish. If you come to me and say, friend, I feel a way about the way you handled this situation. It made me feel a way and I feel like I don't want to fuck with you no more. Then I can say, well, friend, it wasn't like that. This is how I felt. Or it was like that. And if that's your decision not to fuck with me, then keep it poop. But... It's not like, oh, baggage, like, oh, this happened to me, so now I feel like, no. I feel like because when you come with a finalization of this is done, to me, I'm not going to invest in trying to fix that because you've made a decision. You made a decision.
But you don't see how it's similar? You don't
similar,
see how,
but not the
but
same.
You don't see how they can connect?
Somewhat. But I still see the difference. Difference.
Yes, there's a difference, but it's still It's still a connection on how you now view. In my opinion, it's still a connection on how you now view things because you went in with that open mind, open heart, trying to get an understanding, and that person's mind technically was made up. Mm-hmm. He didn't give a fuck. Right. Even if you had not said anything to him, it would have went on like it never happened.
Absolutely.
His mind was made up. So if someone comes to you with their mind made up, you're no longer going to go in with that open mind, open heart, trying to understand why their mind is made up. That's all that I'm saying.
Okay, I'll agree with that. Because yes, if you come to me with that open mind, you come to me with a made up mind about what you're gonna do, I'm gonna support you.
So run the address because now I have a problem because my friend got scars.
I do.
And now it makes sense now because if I burn my hand on the stove, I now know I'm not touching a stove anymore. It regardless of it is the flat top, gas, whatever, my hand isn't going there because it has happened to me before. Even if a person say this is brand new technology, if it senses a hand next to it, it cools down automatically. You're like, hell no. Right. I learned my, you know what I mean? So
you might be right. You might be, but again, I still stand behind.
The thing with me and like how we talk, like I'm more of a fighter. I want to figure out how can we make this better? I'm not just accepting, oh, you're done. What do you mean?
But do you feel done? Okay? So
Because even when I'm done, I'm going to tell you why I'm done, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to express yourself and your feelings and how you feel about the situation. Now, granted, my mind may be made up, but we're still going to have that conversation. And the conversation is not for convincing purposes. It's for it's for understanding, to see where we are and how I reached this decision. Because I'm going to give you scenarios, dates, times of this happened, we talked about this, and then this happened here, and we talked about this, and then this happened. So this is why I'm now here, because we didn't went through all of this, and this is where I am, because we already took all the steps. There's no more steps.
But the thing is, and this is another lesson learned, because I went to counseling. Everybody don't think like you, friend. Like that. They don't. So for me, I guess, again, I am steadfast on the fact that if you come to me with your mind made up, I think it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So you can have in your mind that this is where I'm going with this, but approach the situation and give me the opportunity to speak my piece on it. Or if not, then okay. Like, again, I'm a fighter, friend. I'm a fighter. And I feel like you know that about me. I'm a fight for what I want. But if I feel like I'm fighting a battle that I'm not going to win, bro, I'm not going to waste that energy. If you want to go, then go. Like, friend, even family, like, it's sad, but, like, I legit feel this way. If my sister came to me, any one of my brothers and sisters came to me right now and was like, Reese, whatever it is, I'm just not here. I would want to know why. And I probably would be like, well, wait, what happened? Like, what brought you to this decision? Because like you said, I feel like I'm owed that to an extent. Or I should be given why. I should be given the why. And if they give me the why, yes, I'll take it and I'll accept it and I can move on from that. And if you don't give me a why, I will take that and accept it too. Like, I'll just be like, okay, well, this is the decision that you have made. And while it hurts me to walk away, I'm walking away.
And I guess that's the part that kind of like fucks with me. Like, if there is no why, like, that will eat you up. And we two different people.
Yeah, because if you can't give me a why, then guess what? I feel like it's
no, because you can walk away from it, but I need
don't misinterpret, don't misunderstand me.
Don't put your finger up at me, girl.
It wasn't at you. It was like I want to speak. I'm not. It's not that I'm good. It's I'm respecting you and how you. Again, the decision that you've come to. I'm respecting that. I am not going to, again, try to convince you otherwise. Like, if your decision is your decision, then respect. Like, there's been.
I get it, but I personally, I need my why.
But I feel like we've had, okay, again, going back, we've had a conversation and you basically told me, let it go. Because if an individual has made up their mind, what more can I say? What more can I do?
As your friend, I wanted you to let it go because I could tell that the other person just wasn't willing, mature enough, whatever the case may be. So as your friend, and it's what I do, you start to wreck your brain and try to figure, you try to make your own why to the situation. Absolutely. Without that person. And that's the part that I don't like.
Right.
Because that is damaging to yourself.
Yeah, because you're putting yourself down and you're making yourself the
reason why everything, because they don't give you the why. So
absolutely.
That's why I wanted you to let it go, because my friend is not going to go through this. My friend has to let this go.
Right.
However, personally, I want you to get the why, but as a friend, I got to give you those encouraging words to let it go.
I get it. I guess I completely understand, and I'm with you. Like, again, I think it's how it's presented. Like, again, if it's presented in a way that allows for that conversation, right, then cool. But if it's very done. Because
every scenario is different. Like, if we are good, we rocking, ain't nothing wrong, you know what I mean? And you just come in like, yeah, I don't want to do it. I mean, if you watch any Tyler Perry movie, the man will always come in and be like, yeah, it's not going to work. You got to move out, or we're done. We're broken up. You know what I mean? And a woman, oh my God, what happened?
Right.
I can't deal. Those are the scenarios I don't like, because you don't get where this left hook came from, and now you're in a daze trying to figure this shit out. Like, what? And they're just like, I'm done. Why are you still here? Why is your shit not packed?
Right.
I said I was done 5 minutes ago. You should have been upstairs packing your shit. And it's just like, no, you had a 30-minute ride home from work to figure out that you were done with me when you came through this door. I just been sitting here cooking your dinner, thinking everything's good. It's a regular Friday night, and you're like, yeah, relationship over. No,
it's not fair. I'm not definitely.
That's
not saying
how shit get burnt down.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how. That's that Jasmine Sullivan mentality.
But it's a different scenario if we didn't had. Well, yes and no. If we didn't had some bad moments, but we had some good. We had some bad. We had some good. That type of stuff.
I feel like if the bad moments led up to this decision, maybe there's a bigger conversation.
Right. There's a bigger conversation. If there was ever no resolution to something that has happened, but we've had bad as people do, human error, and then we've been good, bad and good, a mixture of the both, and then you decide, yeah, I'm done, and then it's just supposed to be, I'm done, and let's not discuss it. Again, I feel like I agree.
I feel like there should be a conversation, but to me, again, if you have come to this conclusion, I'm just like, okay, and maybe like you said, maybe there's a scar there that has not healed. That I am just very much in that space of you're done, cool.
But it's not even so much outside of it being a scar. We also live in a time where people can easily just ghost you. If they don't want to talk to you no more, they just stop talking to you.
Right.
They gone. Right. Blocked you, whatever the case may be, act like you never existed. So we're living in that time where people don't want to have accountability for feelings or to discuss those things. They just feel like, or if I'm, it's technology. If I'm done with you, sign out.
Right.
Blocked. And you don't have to have that difficult conversation or have that conversation with that person. And it hinders communication between people and adults, and people don't know how to have those constructive conversations to express feelings and everything like that, because friendships and relationships should not be a block type of situation.
Should not.
Especially after years and investment of time and everything like that. It should be a conversation of why you stop dealing with it. It's not just, okay, block, I don't want to deal with you no more. It's just like,
so let's play this out. Let's and I'm going to be I'm going to be the person that's ending it. And you be...
Of course you would.
No, because I feel like I just want to see how it plays out. So if I come to you and say, hey friend, look.
How long have we been friends?
This is us, our friendship. Mm-hmm. Our friendship. So me and Ramont have been friends. We said this before. We've been friends for, since... At least 12. I feel like 12 was because when I got back to DMV in 12.
Because I was like 2021.
Yeah, so we've known each other since way before, but our friendship, substantiated friendship, was 2012, I'll say, and to now. Mm-hmm. So we've been friends this long, and I come to you and I'm like, Ramont, I'm just at this point where I just don't want to rock with you no more. And I think that, I'm done. Like, we don't need to talk. We don't need to hang. Like, I'm good.
Why?
I just feel like we're in different spaces. And I'll take that back. Because, like, I feel like the time that we was out and you kind of played me to the left, I feel like you do that a lot. And so it just doesn't make me feel good. So I'm just kind of like, if that's how you do me, I feel like you don't value me.
So you're going to take that one instance? If you felt as if I played you before, why didn't you just bring it up before?
Because at first I thought it was just that one time. But I feel like it's a consistent thing that makes me feel a way. And I don't like the way that I feel when you do it.
Okay. So if you never brought it to my attention, I would have never known that you felt some kind of way or if I was doing something wrong.
Okay. So that was an open-ended conversation. Now, if I just come to you and say, hey, friend, I don't want to be friends with you no more.
Why?
I just don't.
Why?
Okay, I don't have a reason.
Why don't you have a reason?
I do have a reason, but I don't even feel like going into it. I've decided that I just don't want to be friends with you.
We fighting. Bitch, I'm flipping this fucking table.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like there's a difference. Like, I feel like, again...
I'm not set up to accept your answer of, I'm done. Why? And how I'm set up, you're going to you're going to tell me why.
And I guess
one way or the other.
I'm set up like, if you tell me good and gone, bruh, I it's gonna hurt, but I'll see you. Like, I'm just not, I guess I'm not in the business of fighting for something that to me feels like a losing battle. And I say that because when I make up my mind to do something, my mind is made up. I've thought the good, the bad, the indifferent. Like, I've thought about all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the situations, I'm trying to think. The whole Obey thing. When I decided that I came to you with this situation, I said, this is where I'm having a problem. And the response was, that's your problem, not mine. To me, you've taken the stance of, my issue with our relationship is my issue. But this is our relationship. So how does that work? Like, how do you see that as a one-sided thing? But because you see it that way, guess what? I can't move forward with this. I can't, because you're not hearing me. And I made the decision that this is a done deal. And I stand behind that. Like, I feel like I'm thinking at the same time. Is there anything that could have been said that would have changed my mind? Potentially in that moment.
Had he had the conversation.
Yeah, but after time has passed, bro, like, that's all I can think of. Like, and I tell people all the time, how you get over a relationship is remember what broke that shit up. And that is very, like, when I think about, could we do this? You weren't even capable of having a conversation with me or being open enough to have a conversation with me about how I was feeling about our relationship.
And my Obey is the reason why I need to have the conversation, because of the fuck shit that he did. So you think when you're in the illusion, and I'll call it an illusion, because sometimes you don't want to see the bad that is going on, because you want this to work. You want to have this relationship. When I think we had moved to our place, and before getting a new one, I moved in with my best friend, and he had moved. I think he had moved in with his with his mother or his best friend as well. So we had, even during that time, he had, before even like saying, okay, like where we moving to next or whatever the case may be, we even went on a vacation. You know what I mean? So, and I think after the vacation, everything's still fine. We still communicate and whatever the case may be. And he was like, oh, come over, this, that, and the third. So in my mind, you think that you're going to where he's been staying. So I'm thinking I'm going to the best friend house. Okay? But then I see that, no, this is your place.
All by yourself?
That you've had. Oh. You know what I mean? So.
Like, but.
So. That it was never it was never said to me. I'm done. After this, after we move out of here, that's it. I'm done. Maybe at one point he did live with his best friend, and then he moved into his own place, whatever the case may be. But in my mind, I'm thinking that you're still living there. So you never said anything to me. We went on vacation. Like, vacation was like, it was like a 4-day weekend, whatever the case may be, and you never said anything to me. And this is how, and you invite me, the guts, the balls. You invited me over, and this is your place, and then I'm just like, this. Okay.
Wait, so that was you feel like that was his way of being like,
no, because the invite over was genuine. Come over, dude. We sitting there, we chatting, we talking, this, that, and the third. But it's just like, you're a bitch ass nigga because you just couldn't say it. Just say it. Like, what was keeping you? I'd rather you say it than lead me to think something.
But maybe,
else.
but
there's no but. There's no but around it. You should have just fucking said it.
But would you have accepted it? Because you said you're a fighter, so then me...
No, I would not have accepted. I would have asked the why to get an understanding. And maybe that illusion would have went away, and I would have seen everything that was wrong in the relationship itself. But I'd rather you just say it versus me coming over here and see that you've...
Literally moved on.
Literally. Literally. And at that point, I accepted it.
And I think
I played, once I figured out, okay, this is yours, I stayed the night. I got
my shit.
Got my shit. I mean, I didn't come over there with much, but the shit that was in the closet that was mine, that I even bought for you,
right?
I took my shit. You shouldn't have left me alone. Friend. You shouldn't have left me alone.
But no, so I feel like that situation.
That's why I feel like now I have conversations with people because I wasn't given that. So now I exude that and I want to have this conversation to get these understanding because it wasn't given to me. So I felt that unfairness then, like I couldn't do this to another person. Like that's just wrong.
And I look at it from the perspective of, I'm gonna take you at your word. Like I
never got a word. I got action. I didn't get a word. It was never said.
Okay.
You know, and after that I just stopped communicating. Like it was nothing else that I could. Is nothing else that you could. What could you say to me at that point? You know what I mean?
And to me, so I feel the same way. Only with the person that ends up with me, or that I end up with, or however you want to put it, they will have to understand how to talk to me. Because if you come to me and say certain things, I'm a new man. Like I'm different than I was a few years ago. Like a few years ago, the fight was in me. Like, like you can't just walk away from a situation with no explanation, with no understanding. Like I was like, no, I need to understand. Now, if that's how you feel, respect. I'm not finna try to convince you of otherwise. And so I feel like if you have an issue, you need to come to me with that issue and you need to express that in a way that allows for a conversation versus to me having a period. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me a ... give me a comma, give me something that isn't so final. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you give me finalization, I'm done. Like, I'm not... And I think maybe dating for me now is like, kind of like that. Like, I feel like when we reach a point, if I'm talking to somebody, getting to know someone, and we reach a point where it's like, this ain't working. You know what I'm saying? And if I make that decision, I thought it through. And there's nothing that you can say that's going to convince me.
Well, that's a little bit different.
Kind of, but not really.
Yeah, in the Tinder online dating world.
I'm not on Tinder, friend. You will not put me back.
First of all, I didn't put you on Tinder. I said in a Tinder online dating kind of world. So I was speaking in general. But if you want to take it personal,
we were talking about me and my dating situation. Okay, well, I don't know what app you're on and it's not Tinder.
I don't know what app you're on.
I'm not.
Okay, girl.
Now.
Okay. Anywho, it's easy to be like, yeah, that's not working for me, this and the third. Again, it's the automatic block. I don't want to talk to you no more type of situation. And you just take it for what it is because it's superficial. It's just here on this app, on this online platform communicating with you. We haven't had time together, spent time together, invested and everything like that where a person would feel as if you owe them a conversation.
I think that honestly, again, even in the dating Tinder, whatever you're on, I feel like if I've invested time and energy into getting to know you, I think there is an explanation owed. Even if it's just, you know what, I don't think we click. Cool. Like, at least I know. I don't like ghosting people, and I don't like to be ghosted. Mm-hmm. I get it. We're in that time and space or whatever, but I just feel like be man enough or woman enough to say, yo, I'm done because of this, or I just don't see it right. Like,
some people have never been equipped with the tools to actually do that, so or it feels.
I feel like that was deep, friend. It's the truth, but I feel you. But so to the point, like, some people don't know how to do that. So for me, for those individuals that don't know how to do it, when you give me, like, if you ghost me, done.
Honestly,
I'm not trying to figure
have
out why.
The conversation with me that you had in your head. Have the conversation with me that you had in your head. For the people that you say, like, don't know how to do it, because they thought it through. They talked to themselves about it. Mm-hmm. They realized why they're through, what may have triggered them, hurt them, to make them be through. And you're saying, like I said, people don't know how to have the conversation with me that you had in your head. What did you say to yourself to make you believe that this is the decision that you wanted to make? That's what I want to hear. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, we don't necessarily have to go back and forth about it, but what did you tell yourself to make this decision? Because you didn't just wake up. No, you thought about this.
Right.
There was a voices going on in your head that you responded to make this decision. And we all know, like, there's there, you know, you and your conscience sat down and had a drink and talked this out. You know, that's what I'm saying. So had a conversation. Tell me what you told yourself in your head.
I just feel like you ain't always gonna get that.
You're not.
And if you're not,
not.
And to me, for me, and I guess this is gonna be one of those episodes where I hear you. I respect and I receive what you're saying, Absolutely. But I am completely on the other end of that. Like, I feel like I agree that there should be. For me, there's always going to be, if you want an explanation, you're going to get that from me because I respect that. I'm going to give you that. But if you say, bro, I'm done, okay, cool. Like, I'm not going to invest more time and energy into figuring out why. If you come to me with a solid decision, if you come to me with an open-ended, like, I'm feeling like this, that's a conversation. I'm feeling like you might not be as interested in me as I am into you. Well, okay, maybe I'm not giving you that. So to me, that triggers a thing to say, okay, Ramont needs a little bit more. Ramont doesn't realize that I like him as much as I do. Mm-hmm. So I got to do a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? That open-ended. Mm-hmm. That allows me to give you what I'm feeling and for you to receive that and then make a decision. But if you come to me and say, hey, I feel like you're not giving me the same energy, so I'm done, you've made a decision. And I could potentially say, hey, maybe you're not looking at it from my perspective, or I do feel this way. But to me, in my opinion, that's me trying to convince you, and I'm just not really interested in trying to convince you.
All right. And
I'm just not. So I get it. Like, I understand where you're coming from, and it makes perfect sense. But I think that what people should think about is how you bring up that. If that's the conversation, if you're done with me, look, public service announcement. If you're done with me, then you come to me and say that you're done with me. But if you're thinking about being done, but you're open to maybe extending it,
have a conversation.
Bring it to me in a way that is open so that we can have that conversation and then you can come to your decision.
And for my people, I'll end on this one. For my people that want that conversation, but that other person is just given that blanket, I'm just done. I'm just done. Mm-hmm. I don't have a reason. First of all, you do have a reason. But for the people that are receiving those statements, 1, don't take it personal. 2, at a certain point, you're going to have to, speaking to you guys because you're my friends, let it go. Mm-hmm. The aspect, like, don't beat yourself up over that other person's decision to not fuck with you. You're hindsight, you're pretty dope. Anyone would want to fuck with you. You know what I mean? So, but you can't beat yourself up because they're like, oh, I'm done. And it could, honestly, it's something probably personal with them, which is why they're not able to have that conversation. They don't know how to express emotions and feelings and actually have a conversation. Because honestly, it could be flipped around. Mm-hmm. It could just been a misunderstanding, but you have to just say, like you said, I mean, at that point, you're just going to have to give them the deuces. It is what it is. You ain't don't respect the shit because they weren't respectful of you and your feelings. So I'm not going to respect your decision. I'm not respecting what you're saying, but I'm going to take it for what it is, and that's it. But and on the flip side, if they try to come back and say, no, like, you were done with me, I'm done. That door for that conversation, like, and that's how I'm set up. Mm-hmm. And that's why I give people that's why I give the opportunity of having a conversation. Because once I'm done, I'm done.
Right. I agree.
And if I try to have it and you don't want it, fine.
And see, I think I'm a little bit different because I think that I will agree when I'm done, when I have decided that I'm done, I'm done. But I feel like in certain situations, there's a part of me that if I don't understand why, then I'm still open to that. No. You know what I'm saying? I'm still open to, okay, you needed more time, or maybe you need to figure it out.
You would get a week from me.
But friend, Okay, and that'll go. We can go on back and forth.
I only say a week because if you came to me with that blanket, I'm done. I'm just done with the friendship. I don't have a reason. If I tell you I'm open to the conversation, it ends in a week. And I'm saying that it ends in a week because you didn't respect my feelings enough to even come to me to have a conversation initially. And see, I'm a bit so. Why should I grant you months, years to finally come back and say, "Hey"?
And I'm gonna ask this question because I'm curious. I'm gonna ask this question because I'm curious, and I'm gonna just keep it very vanilla. That's my word of the day. I'm gonna keep it very vanilla.
Should have kept it whole milk, but go ahead.
Okay, Kayla. Okay, so situation with a friend of yours that was a real friendship, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like, and I don't know the ins and outs, I feel like you didn't get the closure, right? If they came back tomorrow and said, hey, let's have a conversation, you would be closed off to that? And I think that says enough. Like, the pause says enough because I feel like...
I paused because I thought about it myself. Mm-hmm. I've already had this conversation with myself.
Okay.
So...
Conversations with myself. A book? Hill Harper did that, didn't he?
I don't know. We'll have to look it up later. And the pause is because it's kind of in the middle. Mm-hmm. Because a part of me feel as if, yes, have the conversation. But then there's a part of me that reminds me for at least a good year and some change, I was open to that conversation.
And it wasn't
there.
I get it.
And it wasn't there.
I get it.
So that part kind of overshadows the part that would have the conversation. But then again, with the conversations with myself, you think about what would that conversation be? What would the end result be?
And that's the part
and the end result is it's never going to be the same.
Sure.
And at the end, literally, how many years have passed? We are in two completely different spaces. It would never be. It honestly, it would just be, and that's it. And then we would just go back to where we are right now.
But do you think that it would? Do you think that clarity would?
It wouldn't change anything.
It wouldn't. Okay.
It wouldn't. We can't go back. Like when I say two different spaces, we're in two different spaces right now.
Yeah.
I get it. Time and everything has passed. It's like when two friends from high school fall out, college on two different sides of the world, children, family, this, that, and third. Y'all happen to come back because of the county fair and see each other, but
can it be the reunion friend, like the
high school reunion? Okay, high school reunion. I like the county fair better. It's outside, okay. You got your kids. You just understand it because like you got your family with you, kids or whatever the case may be, and it's just like technically at that point that person is now a stranger to you because you have to catch up from all. So it's not like a click, especially if there was a falling out. Now I have to catch up and what's been going like. I'm not. There.
I get it, and it's a little disheartening because I feel like part of me would be so like open to that conversation, but like you said, what would it really change? And some of my situations, like again, friendships and relationships, I'm just like, if I had the opportunity to have the conversation, would I probably would, but then again, I look at the other side and I'm like, well, what would it change? Like, would it really make me feel any different, or would it just be closure to that chapter? And the closure is really there because
it would be right. The closure is there. We've been good. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like a fight, brawl. Wasn't no.
And I think that's the part that would fuck with me. It wasn't anything substantial from what I From my standpoint.
No slander was thrown. Like it's been good across. Mm-hmm. So would it close the chapter? But it's been closed.
Yeah,
like it was and. Here we are.
Right. Well, I feel like here we are. We are at
this was place. Good, friend.
It was. I feel like
this was a deep one, girl. They gonna have to sit at home and you can't listen to this on a ride home. Girl.
It's gonna make you call somebody potentially. Call somebody and either let them
don't drink and listen to this episode. Especially don't drink the brown liquor. The brown liquor that gets you. Brown look at make you call a bitch like, you know what, bitch, we gotta fucking talk.
Okay, that's me. Because if it's Brown,
you get real ballsy on Brown.
What's up? But no, I think it was a good conversation. I think that, again, I feel like this is one of those moments where respect is given on both sides, but we just see things differently. Like,
yeah, like if you come to me with that blanket, say I won't respect your decision, and I would take it for it is what it is, but I won't respect your decision. So therefore, when I act how I act, it is what the fuck it is.
And I'm on the other side of that, like. I'm going to take it for what it is. And
you want to be a nice one.
I mean, if I see you I'm the type of person that I'm never finna show my ass because I feel like I know me. And if I show my ass and you show your ass, then I'm ready to rock. You know what I'm saying? Like, as nice and whatever, I'm just as aggressive as I am nice. So if you whatever energy you bring in to the table, I'm matching that.
They would be more pissed off at me before me them because they would show their ass to get a reaction on me that I wouldn't.
Oh, I'm not giving no reaction.
Exactly.
At all.
So me showing my ass is ignoring the fuck out of you, and that's going to irritate.
Oh no, see, and I'm not going to ignore you if I.
I'm definitely going to. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely
not.
You're getting fucking ignored. Don't fucking talk to me. Say my name. Touch me. If I don't fuck with a person and they talking to you, I will stand right there. And won't say, and don't talk to me, don't say nothing. I don't fucking see you, and you know that for a fact.
I think for me, I'm the type that if you're having a conversation with someone that I don't rock with, I'm 9 times out of 10 either gonna walk away, or if we're making moves and it's a quick stop, hi and bye.
Absolutely,
I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm not. Now if they, hey, what's up, man? We'll keep it moving. It is what it is.
Well, this was a good episode, friend.
It was. But I have a question before we go, because I feel like you're trying to dip out, because we're talking about relevant shit. So that was a great conversation. We're sitting on different sides of the table, literally, on that topic. Great. Versus battle.
Bitch, that's where I was about to go with the conversation.
Oh, I didn't know.
Okay, you thought I was just about to close you off. And no, it's where I was about to go. I just didn't want that particular conversation to keep going, and then we would have never got to the versus battle.
Because it is kind of the same thing on different sides of the table too. But go ahead.
Girl, which one are you then? Which one are you?
I am the fan favorite.
So you're Brandy?
No. Brandy is not the fan favorite. Brandy just has a better catalog than Monica. But Monica is more relatable. The people love some Monica. Brandy is a fucking weirdo.
She's a bitch.
She's a weirdo. What I got from the versus battle...
She's shady.
She's very shady, and she's strange. She's a strange being.
Because she's been in LA.
Well, I think that so the difference between her and Monica, in my opinion, is that she was groomed. Monica just was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So her parents, the people behind her created this persona for who Brandy should be. Brandy don't know to me, she don't really know who she is. Mm-hmm. Because
I agree.
She was just very all over the place to me, and I was just like, and then it was like,
but it gave that fake LA vibe of, oh my god, we gotta be friends for the camera, and I love you, and oh my god, is this your song? Oh my god, this is my jam, girl. I played this all the time. You were holding it down for me when I couldn't release music. This is my shit. And like when I can't remember what song it was, she's like, is this new? And Mom was like, it's been out for a year.
Friend, I said the same thing. I was like, Brandy, you don't know this shit. Like that song, and whatever the song was, it was like I was sitting there like, this is old.
And Brandy was like, and Monica was like, no, this is old.
And she kept like, oh, is this new? And Brandy, I think Monica at first was like, girl,
it's new for a year. It's been holding it down for a year. And it's just like, Brandy, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, that's that fake phony shit. And that's why Monica was like, girl, no. It's old. Like, it's a year old.
I agree. I think that I will say this, and I will, like, this is what I've always said. Brandy's catalog is very extensive compared to Monica's. I think both of their songs or their music or whatever, it hits. You know what I'm saying? They have some really good hits. Because Brandy's is more extensive, to me, music-wise, she's got Monica.
So, how I looked at it, which is funny to me, how I looked at it, Brandy was good in my younger teenage years, growing up. Like, you want that hopeless, in love. Oh my God. If my heart get broken, I gotta write it down in my journal. Oh my God. When he touched me, you know, full moon, never say never. Like, that was the stuff growing up that you could relate to. Like, you got this fairy tale love and how things are supposed to go. And heartbreak, it may be bad and I can put on a song, but I'm going to be okay.
Right.
But when you been through some shit and you get older and then you listen to Monica, should have known better before you walk out of my life, but just one of them days, it hits a little bit different when you're older.
Can we talk about the fact that Monica was singing this shit when she was like 13, 14, 15?
Right.
So, to me, like you said, Brandy's music is fairy tale-ish.
Yes.
Monica's shit is like real life. Like, you want the Brandy life, but you going through the Monica life. You know what I'm saying? So, you're relating to both.
Kick in the door, like, smack you on your chick, like... That's the shit, like, when you're an adult, if you listen to Monica now, it makes a lot more sense. Oh, it makes so much more sense, But when you listen to Brandy, you, like, granted, like, she got some good bangers R&B wise, but you don't relate to Brandy as much when you listen to the old sitting up in my room. No, as an adult, bitch, I'm not sitting up in my room.
Right.
But will I play, like, smack you on your chick or don't come knocking at my door at my new dude? Like,
yeah. Because Monica is talking about grown-up shit, which... doesn't make sense because she was so young, but that's what it was. I just feel like, to me, there was no winner, really, because they're not really comparable.
They have two completely different audience, two completely different fan bases, and I can see Brandy fans, the vocal Bible pamphlet, however you want to look at her. But she... just looking at her catalog and like you said, she was groomed. So she was afforded the opportunities that Monica was not growing up. You know what I mean? And
Monica was going through real life shit. Brandy was, again, she was pushed down a lane.
She was pushed down a lane, and that's why Brandy went through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Which makes Monica a lot more real than what Brandy is.
And that's why now it's like, if this is who Brandy is, it's so weird.
And people were like, oh no, but Brandy this and third. I said, was you watching Brandy on Love and Hip Hop when she was arguing with Princess and cussing her out? Yeah. Her and the mother?
Right.
I said, that's her. That's her.
And that wasn't her on her fucking versus battle. She was being very... She's a businesswoman, like Monica said. She's a whole businesswoman. That's what she was saying throughout the whole versus thing. She's trying to make that dollar. And that's cool. I respect it. But keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Like, even to the point where she mentioned the whole... they were talking about the whole kick down your door and smack your chick. I was one of them girls. Girl. Like, if you're going to talk about it in the relation that it is. Meaning... you weren't one of them girls that Monica was kicking down doors and smacking because it wasn't about a man. Bitch, whatever it was some other shit. Though when Monica put the smack down on Brandy.
But the thing, and also you notice, shit. How Brandy was groomed and put in the eye and just, this is the perception you have to have, is the fact that you had your child out of wedlock. But you led people to believe that you were married when you had that child, and that wasn't the case. Monica, she's been married for her kids that she had, but if she didn't, she would have just owned it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm relatable to anyone else that's going to be listening to my music, but Brandy, you had to do this, and that's why you went through so much shit.
Yeah.
Because you weren't allowed to be yourself. You had to be who they wanted you to be for the public eye.
And so it's hard for fans, for people, because I'm a fan of both. It's hard for me to look at Brandy and say this is who she is because I don't feel like she knows who she is.
And she threw all the jabs in the world. Oh Monica should have been tossed the Ciroc bottle at her ass.
Monica was
trying.
She was just like,
honestly,
okay,
even if people like Brandy won, Brandy had the hits, this and the third, but that night Monica was the entertainment.
Oh, absolutely.
Monica had the best lines, the best memes.
Monica was kind of like, I'm not giving you the energy, basically. I felt like there was a few times that Monica was just like, girl, stop. And Brandy kept pushing. So then she get like, okay, now you want it? I got you. Is how I felt.
And like Monica said, you ain't got to keep telling people we just started speaking. Or did Monica say we just started speaking and everything like that? It was,
I think in the very beginning,
because Monica, Brandy was like, we haven't spoken in 8 years. And I was like, okay, girl, like you ain't got to keep telling the people, like it, like Brandy, like it's like you trying to be real, but it's coming off fake. Like okay,
it was very fake.
Like what's understood doesn't need to like.
We know what it was. Like, the fans know. We all know what happened. Like, just go through it. Now, the only thing I will say about Monica that I didn't appreciate was what The Boy Is Mine. Like, she really didn't give us what I felt like. I felt like that was a moment for her to really, like, she was singing throughout, the tracks that she really liked. Maybe she didn't like the song. Maybe she didn't remember the words. But I felt like Brandy was giving us her verses, and Monica was just kind of like, whatever. And I felt like that was a moment.
I feel as if Monica didn't need to, because in The Boy It's Mine, you can understand Monica lines way more than you can understand Brandy's. Brandy's, you need to pull up the lyrics to see what the fuck she was saying.
Really?
And Monica, you can hear hers word for word what she's saying. Brandy,
okay, we're gonna close this out, but I'm gonna end with this question. So, who do you feel like the boy belonged to in the end?
Monica. Because I feel like Monica would beat Brandy ass for The Boy, and he ain't got no choice. Bitch, you gonna stay with me, or you gonna go over there with her beat up ass?
I feel like, I agree, but I feel like Brandy was, like we talked about earlier, the
Monica,
bitch that was trying to
if you look at the song, Monica was more aggressive in the song.
Right, so I feel like Brandy was trying to convince herself and the man to be with her, and Monica was just like, bitch, this is what it is. Like,
right, this is what it is. I ain't trying to be rude. It is
what it is, bitch. Move
and
on.
Monica had the best promo leading up to her versus battle anyway.
She did. Oh yeah. I think that Brandy.
I didn't even see Brandy's. That's the sad part. No one retweeted Brandy's promo for it.
I like Brandy, but I'm just To me, again, if you're looking at music, her catalog far exceeds Monica's, but Monica's has more in depth to me content. The content is
it's more relatable.
Absolutely.
People were saying like. Monica can't at her age, she can't be singing about knocking down the door, smacking the chick. It's like, but that's what you do. As an adult, you doing that now. Like you still want to sing "Never Say Never" and like
There's some people that are in that shit, in that space of "Never Say Never," but.
I listened to Full Moon the other day, and it's some tracks I didn't realize that I was listening to. Like I tuned it out. I only listened to like my favorite tracks off of the CD. And I mean, same thing with Monica, but it don't hit the same.
It doesn't, because we're grown. Back then, it was like.
But I can play a Monica track now and be hyped
and feel it, because it's again real life. That's what it comes down to. Brandy ain't real life to me.
Not anymore. And I damn sure didn't listen to that B7 album. Trash.
No.
Trash.
Okay. This has been a great episode.
You think we're going to lose listeners because I said trash?
I don't think so. I mean, listen, your opinion is yours. I think it was a good album. I'm a little disappointed with Monica because hers didn't come out. Like,
it didn't come out yet?
It's been coming out for forever, friend. Like, she was supposed to release that on her birthday, and I'm not a stan like that. I don't know when her birthday was, but I know it's past. And it was supposed to be like...
No, she's a Scorpio.
Okay.
So that's like November.
No.
Oh,
because she was on the show with T.I. and his family. Family Hustle. Okay. And she was preparing to release the album for whatever birthday was coming up, and it didn't happen. Okay. So, but again, like, I'm not knocking it. I'm not like when the Rihanna folks was like, oh my God, an album. Like, I'm not pressed.
They are waiting for Rihanna, and Rihanna is playing in these people's face.
Wait, when they said she was gonna, I read something recently. They was like, Rihanna was supposed to release an album, and she released a picture book, and that was an album. Like, that was an album to her. So y'all
be photo
happy.
album?
I was like, baby.
And it was something else. Like, they posted it. It was like, oh my God, she looked just like Rihanna. And then Rihanna commented, where that album at, sis? We've been waiting. I love Rihanna.
I do too. So yeah, like, I feel like I just want Monica to come out. I want her to come out with her next, and I want it to be dope as fuck. Like, I want it to be as good. I don't know. All of her albums haven't been amazing to me. Mm-hmm. Brandy's, all of her albums have been, but I feel like there's more.
I lost interest in Brandy after what album had First in Love on it?
First in Love.
Saw You at the Corner of First in Love. You remember that?
Nope. It was probably an album that I didn't listen to then. Because I listened...
I didn't listen to Aphrodisiac.
Aphrodisiac is a good album. Never Say Never was a good album. What was the one that she... Which one was it that she was on... Or that she put out that I was just like, it's not my favorite.
All right, I'm pulling up her catalog now. We're going to go over this. Before we close out. Oh my God, we just dragging on. So I listened to Human.
That's the one that I
that had First in Love on there.
Okay, that's the one I didn't get into.
But I Aphrodisiac, I only probably listened to like maybe one.
I could listen to Aphrodisiac and Never Say Never all the way through. But Monica's very first album,
like 211, I didn't listen to.
211 was good.
And B7, of course, I didn't say how I felt. Oh, I listened to Put It Down only because Chris Brown was on there.
No, that album was pretty good. But
okay.
Monica, I feel like Monica's first album was probably her best. Like, I remember Code Red. Code Red is okay.
That's Tonio's favorite album.
Is it?
Tonio rocks the Code Red.
Code Red is good.
You know, Tonio's...
how she did that whole The Boy Is Mine, though, and named that whole album.
I listened to Miss Thing, Boy Is Mine, After the Storm, The Makings of Me, I listened to all of Monica ones.
Still Standing is a good album.
Yes, I listened to all of Monica's. Code Red, not so much. But
New
outside
Life
of that,
was good too.
I listened to all her albums.
Okay. Well, I mean, again, I think they're both good, equally, just different.
So, I had an idea. Toni Braxton and Mary J. Blige.
No.
Why not? They're the only ones with... They're the only ones that could go at it.
No.
Then they can't go against somebody then.
Mary, who could marry?
No one. Who
could Mary go? Hold on. Give me... Okay, maybe not. Maybe we'll have to come back to it. Because... Okay, Mary's my birthday twin, so I'm rocking with her regardless.
So why can't she go against Toni?
Because Toni to me is not even competition for her like that. Like, I feel like Toni just breathes. Toni is the bitch that you gotta go and look at her lyrics. Like, I'm not mad at her; she makes good music, but you gotta go look at her lyrics because you're like, what did this bitch say?
Okay, guys, we're gonna go ahead and end the show right now. I can't believe he just said this about Toni Braxton. Oh my God. I don't know who my friend is. You know what? I may not even come back after this.
No, you're coming back.
Episode 11, Reese will have a new host.
That's my favorite number, so you gotta come back.
Reese will have a new host come episode 11.
New host. Yeah, I am the host. We the host.
Reese will be by himself because of what he just said about Toni. He said Toni Braxton.
Y'all, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate your support. Please come back and listen to the next episode in 2 weeks.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Talk to you later.
Peace.
Hey guys, it's your boy Ramont. I want to thank you again for listening to another episode of ALilRandRPodcast. Please make sure you like and subscribe to us. Also, follow us on IG at ALilRandRPodcast. That's ALilRandRPodcast. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please reach out to us via our Gmail at RamontandReese@gmail.com. Thanks so much.